So I am in like my own personal rehab for anger. Um, I let myself get triggered. I let people push my buttons and I get out of control. I can scream and cry and throw tantrums, and sometimes I get psychotic and I break with reality and all this, emotionally immature behavior. And I know that anger, whatever that is a really big problem for me. So I decided today that I would be in rehab. And I'm not going nowhere and spending all this money and eating some designer meals. Um, all I'm going to do is chill and try not to get angry. And when I feel like I've mastered my ability to control my temper, my personal rehab will be over. Now, one of the things that has prompted me to go on this journey is this whole trans controversy. Because when men started putting on dresses and wearing wigs and makeup and stuff and saying that they were women now, and that if we didn't, and that we had to accept that this was, you know, a thing that we should agree to put up with and tolerate. Yes, we should tolerate this. We women. Now, I don't identify as a woman anymore because I don't know what that is. If everybody I see on my TV is going to say that they don't know what a woman is, and that's the message they want to put out in the world, and that's what they want, the youth, the adults, just whatever, whoever. They want anybody watching TV to feel like it's not appropriate to look at people based on their body parts and their presentation, and if they decide to wear nails or their hair is pretty, or I don't know. I don't know what a woman is. I don't know what men are. I don't know. I used to identify as a woman, and I do not anymore because at this point I don't know what that means in a lot of contexts. But I know what I thought I was when I did identify as a woman. So, when I was a woman, I thought that the fact that I could give birth or bear a child or carry life inside of me, and once the baby's born I can feed it with my breasts, or not, my breasts are like a connection to the food system inside of my breast tissue that is designed to provide food for our offspring, the man and the woman, whatever that means. And that's how we as a people continue to exist on this earth. Blah, blah, blah. So that was like one of the things I felt like made me a woman. So now they're saying, no, that's not what makes you a woman. People who can do stuff like that can be men. And I'm like, okay. Because I think a lot of us have seen that ad or whatever it is, propaganda, where the girl is sitting on the bench with, or whatever, maybe it is a guy. I don't know. There's a picture of a person who is presenting male, but they have a blood stain in their crotch. So we are led to believe that this is actually a woman who's decided that she was meant to be a man. So she's going to live her life presenting as a male on the outside while still demanding to be treated like someone who bleeds from their crotch. So you want us to see a man and still allow you the privilege of behaviors of a woman? Like, what do you want? Do you want tampons? I don't know. I always wondered, what's the point of that message? I just think this is an opportunity for y'all to show somebody's bloody crotch on like a billboard and just get away with just doing some nasty shit. Like, that's really all that is. Like, that is like, you didn't have to do that, sir. Whatever the fuck is going on in that picture. Like, I don't know. But like, what I'm saying is like, okay, like, this is really crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense. So we're promoting the acceptance of things that blatantly don't make sense. Okay, that's fine. You know what? When I identified as a woman, I just decided that I'm not going to argue because I used to like arguing, or I used to think I liked arguing, but really, I like talking. And the best way to get some attention as far as talking to someone is to argue with them. If you make them mad, they will stand there and scream and have a yelling match with you. You can get strangers to do it with you. I just like talking to people. But most people's favorite form of talking to someone is arguing with them. So I end up in a lot of arguments because like I antagonize people because I won't stop talking to them. But whatever. So I've decided that and I don't antagonize people. They think I'm antagonizing them, but I'm being assiduous. But we'll talk about that another day. So anyway, so basically what I'm saying is I'm not a woman anymore because I just decided when the last thing I was going to do as a woman is like stop being so damn angry all the time, because like it is not attractive and it's not doing anything for me. It's like ruining my health. Like, I feel so unhealthy with like how much time I spend being angry and viewing content that makes me angry and listening to people who I don't agree with. And you know why? Because all of a sudden in this context that we currently exist in, we are daily being encouraged to tolerate things we don't like and incorporate them into our daily life, and consume content we don't agree with, and listen to people we don't agree with and who don't have our best interests at heart, and let them lead us and be in charge of our destiny. That's the propaganda of the day. So we're slowly being just like pissed off people on a regular basis because it doesn't make sense to sit around all day tolerating things you don't like. That is like a recipe for just like a whole bunch of angry people. Like, that's literally the, death problem in the world. It's not even like the US. It's not where like people are angry all over the world because every day we're encouraged to spend more and more time tolerating things we don't like because people that we don't like want us to like them. So instead of being allowed to be who they are somewhere else, they believe we should start liking them. Like, that's the solution. They shouldn't change. They shouldn't be better people. They shouldn't like just go away. Like, okay, that's fine. If you want to do that, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't want to like sit here and watch you do it. Like, that's all I'm saying. Can I just like go somewhere else? Like, you know what? It's cool. I used to be a woman. That's cool. But if you are going through something within yourself to the point where you have to be a woman now, and I have, like, okay, that's fine. I won't be a woman anymore. If you're going through something so much that you got to take the word woman from women, then you know what? That's a lot of trauma. I'm not qualified to deal with it. And apparently, I am not qualified to be a woman anymore because I am not willing to be angry about this anymore. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not crying. I'm not fighting for it. Like, I don't care. If y'all are going to go in labs and make uteruses and AI women and programs to replace us, great. That's fine. I don't want to be a woman, and I don't want a man. If that is what men are spending their time doing, spending technology, spending all this time away from their families, where their children are being sex trafficked is the propaganda. That's what they really want us to believe. So what's really happening in your life? What's really happening in my life? Really, my son is very disrespectful, okay? He thinks it's okay to just not do anything because he doesn't live here, all right? So he wants to spend a week at my house and a week at his dad's house because I'm not with his father anymore because he's disrespectful. And I just got fed up one day and I said, you know what? I am just not going to go through this anymore. I don't know what I am going to do, but I'm not doing this no more. So I left and I ain't go back. Like, I dilly-dallied, I played around, but I did not go back. So now here he is, gracing me with his presence. Oh, thank you so much for finally, coming to my house and spending time with me. And he don't want to do nothing. He don't take out no trash, wash no dishes, clean up after himself, none of that. He just goes in the room and plays video games. He watches, videos on his phone all day. He does whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it on his own time, on his own schedule. He expects me to cook for him. He expects me to do everything that I need done when he's not here, as if he still isn't here. Okay, he doesn't want to contribute any labor. He knows he can't contribute money because he's not old enough to work. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have any money. He asks for money. He doesn't ask me for money because he knows I'm not going to give him any, but he asks for money. So he could contribute some useful labor in obvious tasks that nobody really has to explain to him. Everyone can see that a trash can is full and needs to be taken out. There's not one person on this earth who doesn't see a full trash can and say to themselves, that needs to be changed. So who needs to help you actually do it, right? No one. So no one has to go look at a sink full of dishes and someone has to explain to them that, for this to look different, for you to have a glass to drink some water out of, there has to be clean ones. All of the glasses are in the sink dirty. See, they're right there. So, he doesn't need that explanation. He chooses to just not do anything. So, I told his dad to just come pick him up. It's okay. He doesn't have to come over here. He doesn't have to spend time with me. Because you know what happens? My mom gets mad about it. I live with my mom. And she complains to me about it. I don't want to hear it because it does not have nothing to do with me. I live downstairs. I have my own kitchen. I don't put no dishes in that kitchen. Lord have mercy. I lived a lifetime of listening to her complain about dishes in the sink. Okay? I will not take on that burden for my lazy son. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if he expects me to, he can go. He doesn't have to come over here. He does not love me. If that little boy thinks the pinnacle of my existence is to allow him to sit in his room playing PlayStation 5 that she bought for him, so that he can not wash dishes and cause her stress, so much stress that she's calling me, complaining about dishes in the sink, Lord have mercy. They're not my dishes. They're not my dishes. And at my big age, I'm still listening to my mother complain about dishes in her sink because my son, who loves me so much, he's willing to come sit up in my mama's house and not wash dishes so that I can get complained at still, because I miss that, right? That was my favorite part of childhood, right? Hell no. Come get your son. Absolutely not. No. Both y'all done lost your mind. You can keep him. Keep the whole kid. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. Anyone on this planet who even has the nerve to think I should feel bad because my son can go sit in his daddy house with that attitude, you have a great day, sir. Because you gotta be a dude. There's no one else who would think that I deserve to live this life. Absolutely not. So, anger management starts for me today. I am not going to put myself in situations that make me angry. I am so angry that my son thinks it is the pinnacle of my existence to allow him to sit up in my mama's house and cause me stress. Absolutely not. And that, like, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm not supposed to nag him. I'm not supposed to tell him again to wash the dishes. So what am I supposed to do? Just tolerate it? If he don't want to do it himself, and I'm not supposed to tell him to do it again as if he forgot, okay, just don't come over. How about that? Because I have done enough thinking about this. This is why I'm angry. Because as a woman, I feel like being a woman is basically being required to do a man's emotional like work, like all of his emotional responsibility, like all of his his emotional work. And then don't be emotional for yourself, only be emotional for me. So when I'm emotional for myself and I scream and yell at him for myself, I'm being too emotional. And if I want him to listen to me, I should be less emotional with my presentation. Fuck you. How about that? Why is a logical presentation of your argument the pinnacle of an argument presentation? Like, why are we arguing in the first place? How about that? Why are we arguing? Why are you making me mad? Let's start there. Don't criticize my method of argument. You want to be logical? Let's be logical. It's not logical to criticize my method of argument when you're losing as a tactic, a distraction. That's not logic. That's a distraction technique. Absolutely not. That's not what we're going to do. You are going to account for why you have decided that pissing me off is more important than whatever the hell it is you're pissing me off about. And then so many women are like so proud of themselves. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. That's the problem. We don't ask for much, and then we accept not even that. Because 9 times out of 10, any woman telling that story and using that set of words is talking about something she didn't get. And she's saying, I didn't ask for much as proof of why she should have got that thing. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm not a woman. If that's what a woman is. And that's literally what I thought a woman was. Like, I don't know. But I do know that a woman is not a man in a skirt. And I do know that I'm not about to fight nobody over rights to a restroom. Restrooms are pretty gross. If you so pressed to be up in that bitch, you gonna carry a gun up in it. When, as a woman, if I feel that threatened when I am in a very specific place and I know exactly where that place is and I can name it and I can point it out, I just don't go there. Okay, I don't carry a gun when I go there. I just don't go there. That's what I used to do as a woman. But since men in skirts, who are women too, have decided that their solution of feeling mortally threatened when they enter those environments is to take a gun with them, they can have the bathroom, they can have the word woman, they can have whatever they want because they scurry. I am homophobic, transphobic, whatever. I am phobic. I am afraid. I'm afraid of anybody who is going to bring a gun into the bathroom and threaten my life because I think that I have just like these internal reasons why I feel like they shouldn't be in like a bathroom type environment with me. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe one of them might, like bring a gun up in that jump, try to shoot women because, he's mad about something. I don't know. Maybe, they wouldn't do that because they're actually women. They're not really men. They just, they were assigned the wrong social construct at birth because that's what doctors do. They assign social constructs in a, medical environment. That's what medicine is. Okay. They're telling on themselves. Like, that's really all there is to it. Like, I'm not going to argue with them anymore. I'm just going to believe them. What is like the advice when a man tells you who he is? Believe him. Okay. So if a man tells me he's a woman, I'm going to believe him. I'm not going to argue with him. And I'm not going to address him the way he prefers to be addressed because he's still a man and I don't just walk around doing what men do. Okay. I do what I want to do because it's what I need to do for me. And anybody on this earth who has decided that I'm supposed to do what they need me to do for them before I do what I need to do for me is someone who's trying to kill me. All right. And this is my first day of anger management. And I guess that's my first insight. Okay. That's the first thing I have decided with anger management. Anyone who is so desperate that I abandon myself and what I know I need for their preference, for what they want me to do, like the little bit of time I be around them. They be strangers, strangers, trying to tell you to live your life the way they want you to live it. That is murderous. That is murderous intent. And I'm over it. I am over it. No, you cannot kill me. I don't want to die. I want to live. I love being alive. I am not depressed. I've never had a mental illness. Mental illness isn't real. Respect is a myth. Everything is a lie. Nothing is what it seems. Anything that you can look at with your own two eyes and identify properly and know in your heart that that's what that is, that ain't it. I guarantee you that is not what it is, because I have recently just, I stopped working in November, and everybody was so mad at me, and they were like, you can't just stop working. You need money to live. You need a job, da da da. And I was like, I don't need money to live, and you don't need money to live either. I need stuff that money buys. Okay, I need food, I need shelter, I need water, I need like clothing. That's what I need. And even a lot of that stuff, like I don't even need that. Like I just need certain types of things that fall in those categories. But we become so accustomed to our comforts, whatever those are. And we've been brainwashed into giving away our actual time, our actual energy, our actual life force to keep this thing going that doesn't benefit us. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I just don't want to do that anymore. So there's so many people who are mad at me because I decided I was going to figure something else out. Like, whatever. You can't live that way. Like, okay, well, come on, man. Like, I can maintain my ability to, like, breathe air, drink water, eat food without working. I just, like, won't have, like, money. I won't have a lot of money. Okay, fine. Or, like, I might have to borrow money from someone. Like, I don't know. Whatever. But I won't, like, die. I won't be dead. And I won't, like, cease to exist. And you won't either. Like, I think maybe if you were willing to entertain that before you decided to tell me what I couldn't do with my breath, I think the world would be a better place. I think if more people started there, and I'm not telling anyone to start there because that is part of the problem. Because, like, I wanted to start a YouTube page, like, so long ago, but I was like, oh, I gotta do like this or like that or whatever, and I don't want to seem like this, and, I have to have my hair done like that, and I have to have this background, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I don't really care, because they're saying, no one's going to watch your video if you don't do this, that, and the other. And it's like, okay, so if I don't do none of that, and then I post this video, no one's going to watch it. So no one's going to see it. So fine. Why should I do any of that? Like, why should I do my hair, my makeup, and my background and get a camera and because no one's going to watch the video, right? Because I didn't do any of that. So why do any of that? So here I am with my little low budget video and my, like, mascara or eyeliner everywhere or whatever, because, like, I'm in the mood to talk and I love talking. Okay, so this is why I decided I need anger management, because I get angry because, people be hurting my feelings and they want to just get away with it, and they don't want to acknowledge me, and they don't want to be accountable for it, and that makes me angry. So at some point I decided to accept the programming that, because that makes me so angry, I get irrationally upset and, don't want to get out of bed, and I just cry all day because, like, it seems like when people get in contact with me and they realize, like, how sweet of a person I am, the one thing they want to do more than anything else is, like, try to break me. And, like, that makes me sad. That means I have an illness. I have a mental illness. I accepted that programming. Okay, I accepted that programming and I lived it for a really long time. I won't say how long because it's not relevant. What's relevant is I accepted that programming and I lived it. I rejected the programming recently and I don't live it anymore, and now it doesn't control me. But I still have anger. I have a lot of anger because now I have been given permission. I'm giving myself permission to feel my emotions and to end up where my emotions take me. And I don't allow myself to bottle that up anymore for the benefit of others, because that's really all I was ever doing. Like, taking medication for me was the process of denying myself the right to experience pain and hurt and sadness because I was being mistreated for the convenience of those who would wish to mistreat me. Because I was miserable. Yeah, I was going to work and I was paying my bills and I was living my life and I was cooperating with certain people, but they were still mistreating me. They weren't changing. They weren't doing anything different. I was going to therapy. I was getting these tools to connect and to handle, these patterns of behavior. And they would just come up with, a new reason why this tool was another version of me being inadequate. Oh, well, you want me to respect your feelings. Have some feelings worth respecting first. How about that? And then we'll talk about it. It was always whatever they want, and then we'll talk about what I want. And I was accepting it. The medication allowed me to accept that arrangement. And therapy was about convincing me that, okay, no. So you have to go to therapy to get the medication. And you have to take the medication to be considered someone who is serious about their mental illness and about healing or working on it or whatever, which is a bunch of bullshit, because as soon as you stop taking the medicine, it stops working, whatever the fuck that means. So if constantly taking the medicine is the key to it working, what is it doing? Because you could still have breakthrough symptoms. So if every now and then you still have uncontrollable guilt and sadness and hopelessness, why take this medicine every motherfucking day? If that's how it works and it still don't work when it works, it don't work. But the most responsible thing I could do for myself is continue to take these emotion blotting substances for the benefit of those who enjoy abusing me. They enjoy my presence. They enjoy the benefits of my presence. However, they do not want to treat me with this myth called respect or like fair, equal treatment or whatever, because they're disrespectful. And I still am, what they want to benefit from. I don't change what I bring to the table when they treat me wrong, because I'm not supposed to do that, right? So I'm supposed to take the high road. I'm not supposed to get back at anyone. I'm not supposed to be petty. I'm supposed to pride myself in allowing people to disrespect me and never holding them accountable and never taking them to task and never taking them to court and never making them be responsible for what they've done to me. Like, that's the respectable thing to do. Okay, you know what? I don't want to be respected. I want to be somebody people don't fuck with, okay? Whatever that's called, that's what I want. Because if that's respectable, I'm good. I don't want that. So thank you for letting me know how not to act. I will no longer just let people walk all over me. And that's what my son is finna find out. He is not finna come over here and sit up here and play no $600 video game that this woman bought for him and keep siphoning money from her for pizzas and wings and even more video games to play on this expensive ass video game player, because the last game he's bored with. So basically you telling me I wasted my money on this shit because they ain't got no games that keep your interest longer than a couple of days, and you ain't even satisfied to be playing that shit because you sitting here with that attitude while you this all you do all day, and you ain't wash no dishes, you're not taking out no trash. I gotta tell you to get your fucking socks out the living room. You disgusted with the fact that I got the nerve to come and ask you to do your fucking chores when you know damn well you're not even paying for the food you ate off the plate. You don't even want to pick up off the table. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, I'm done. No, sir. You can't be around me. Absolutely not. No. I spent a lifetime listening to that woman complain about dishes. I will not do it for him. Absolutely not. That's not my job as his mother, a woman, a person, a being, an existence. That is his cross to bear. Because I know damn that is a lie. That's a lie. Not for me. Absolutely not. No, sir. No, sir. Absolutely not. Ooh, I know somebody lying if they think I'm supposed to keep listening to that woman complain about dishes. And you know what it is? It's not even, I don't even, like, she's lying. She doesn't care. She doesn't care, because I used to go through that my whole life, okay? And anyone who is willing to take their greatest burden and place it in someone else's hands and spend their whole life nagging that person to do right by them by removing their they lying. That is not your greatest burden. If it was your greatest burden, you would take care of it, period. And that is a fact. And I'm not saying that she lying because I, don't believe her. I have proof. When I moved out, it's a few times I moved out. When I moved out, every single time without fail that I came over, there would be dishes in the sink. Her dishes. Her dishes would be in the sink. So that's proof that she doesn't have a problem with dishes in the sink. She got a problem with the fact that there's dishes in the sink. And I am here to wash them because that's my job to her. To her, I'm here to wash her dishes. That's a lie. I'm not going through it no more. There are no children on this earth who should be slaves to their parents. Absolutely not. Children should wash dishes so that they can contribute to the running of a household, because they're not able to contribute in other meaningful ways. Once they're capable of washing dishes and contributing in that way, they should contribute in that way to show appreciation. It is not about you having personal servants. It is not about you having slaves. It is not about you having people that should wash your dishes because you pay these bills. It doesn't matter that you pay the bills, because do you pay your children any attention? Do you love and do you pay your children any respect? There's respect that you just demand from them. Do you respect them? Do you just bust up in their room because this your house and you pay these bills and don't pay for shit? They don't got shit. You don't got shit. So you like running around making them feel like they don't deserve basic human rights like privacy and, the right to not be yelled at and abused and ignored all day long. You think that's your right as their parent? You're crazy. No, that is not your right as a parent. That's why you had kids. You're fucking crazy. You wanted things of your own to abuse on a daily basis for whatever reason. I'm not telling you why you did it, but I'm telling you what you're doing, because that's obviously what you're doing. It's not your right. That is not what children are for. That is not their job. Children should contribute to a household. Absolutely, because they live in that household and they depend on that. They depend on those dishes being clean so they can eat their dinner off of a clean dish. That's why they should help wash the dishes. Not because you brought them in this world, you can take them the motherfuck out. You didn't bring them in this world. You were just a conduit for their inevitable existence. You're putting way too much on yourself. You're not God on earth. You're a conduit. You're a portion of creation. And so am I. I'm not trying to whatever. I'm not explaining what I'm not doing anymore. Like, I'm clearly not doing what I'm not doing. And I really do like talking, so I used to over explain myself because it was just like a opportunity to just keep talking because I like talking. Like I am that type of person. I feel like I have interesting things to say, and a lot of times the people in my life agree with me because they just sit around and listen to me talk and then let me go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And then sometimes they try to flip it after the fact. Like they'll sit there and listen to me talk for hours, right? I'll sit there, I'll talk your head off. Oh, like 2, 3 hours straight. I don't get tired. I don't gotta take a sip of water, nothing. But I'm not doing that anymore because then they call you and they say, man, you're so boring. You just sat there, you talked my head off, da 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 da. I don't even feel like listening to you. Okay, you did a really good job of standing up for what you believe in by sitting there and listening to me all night because, that's going to help me understand that that's not what you like to do by sitting there and listening to me talk. You don't like that. You never do that. Okay, I'm not doing it anymore. But I do like talking, and I do still think what I have to say is interesting, and I know that there's people who agree with me. So I'm just gonna make my videos in my little room because that's what people do these days, and that's what I'm gonna do too. And I'm gonna slowly change my braids out because I like these better. I'm using 2 different kinds of hair. So don't worry about the old ones that I'm taking out. The ones that I'm doing right now I'm using this hair right here. And I like it because it's soft, it's springy, and it's like kind of messy, but in like a pretty way because I like messy, but I still like pretty. So I thought I wanted like these big jumbo locks that look like really, rough and whatever. And like those were cute, but they're like hard to sleep on. I find myself moving my head quite a few times when I try to lay down and get some rest, and I, I don't like the roughness. Like I like how this is kind of shiny and soft. I like this instead. So there's a time for this, but right now I want to play with this. I want to play with this method of having impermanent locks. So there we go. So I am one by one swapping them out because I don't want to sit here for hours getting it all done at once. I don't have anywhere specific to be anytime soon. And I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to go buy some more hair at the beauty shop. Look, they're so cute. You know what they look like? They look like when you have starter locks and they first start locking up and they start getting those knots in them, but they still have like the loops on the side. I think that's why I like them. They look like super authentic, like starter locks, but like really long ones that decided to behave, darling. It's like having length locks that you naturally allowed to naturally lock up. And you know what they decided to do? They decided to have your back and lock up in the most beautifully ordered, structured, neat, designed, lined up, clean part. Girl, I know you telling the truth. This what I deserve. I deserve to freeform lock my hair and it decide, oh, we just gonna get information. Yes, that's why I like it. Because it reminds me of when I had my locks and they were in that phase where they were starting to like really lock up. Especially like this right here. How it has like the loops on the side. It's like exactly what I used to like look at and smile at and like, yeah. So I'm gonna slowly change them over to my little cutesy ones and continue my anger management rehab because that's what I need. I need to like just stop being angry about things I cannot do anything about because it hasn't been a good thing for me to contribute to my own lifestyle. Nothing good has come from it, you know? The anger. The anger has not been a beneficial emotion for me to continue the exploration and participation in. I will leave anger to people who enjoy the results that vibrating in anger gets them. And I will learn how to use situations that once provoked me to anger to find something else, some sort of like suitable emotion to use to process that so that I benefit from my actions, my interaction with that. Hell, I might just not interact with it. I might just stop interacting with things that provoke me to anger. We'll experiment with that. That'll be my homework, my anger rehab homework. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Have a great day. I guess this is roughneck rehab because you gotta be a roughneck if you think it's alright to run around being angry all day and that there's anything cool about that. So, roughneck rehab, day one. Yeah, let's get it. No more angry, you know, ladies or, you know, whatever you identify with. If you're like digging the message and you feel like this is for you, then cool. If you don't identify with the message, also cool. Yeah. So that's that. And yeah, have a good day.